My preceptorship experience with University of Houston Victoria has been a great thing. As a student, I've learned a lot from the preceptors. They've all been real helpful, and especially with teaching us skills that we may not be comfortable with, they're always by your side in all the clinical experiences. So I really thank all the preceptors that have helped.
Uh, there were, I had a good experience and a bad experience. And as far as bad experiences go, I think what's important for a preceptor to know is that it's important to stay professional and to keep that role clear, because I think it's easy for us to get mixed up in those lines and become unprofessional and talk about our personal lives and not remain in that teaching role. And beyond that, I think what else I saw or I felt I experienced was that as nurses, I suppose that it's easy for us to get into our protective over our patients, and you don't really want or can or allow for a student nurse to kind of go in there and help out. And I feel like even though I needed to be an advocate for myself, it was hard to do that when I felt like the nurse didn't really want me, or I felt those impressions, it wasn't more inviting. So I think that's something that I would like to have seen a little bit less of. But there were a few preceptors that I had that were exceptional, and what I think made them exceptional is that they would bring me into the room with them, and we would go step by step through what their process was in performing care for a patient, and exactly not just the steps of providing the care, but the logic and the mentality for what might come before, or what might come after, or what we may experience. And just kind of showed me how they were able to think critically and outline effectively what their care would be when they provided it for their patients.
Okay.
Hi. My experiences with the preceptorship have been nothing but fantastic experience. Many of the preceptors that I've worked with have been very helpful. They've given me opportunities to work on skills that I've learned at school. They've gone out of their way to find certain skills that I've asked, that we need, and they've done nothing but, been an advocate for me, helped me learn the system at that certain facility, what to expect when I graduate, and that's been very helpful. That helps me focus on what I need to do at school, and other things to get me focused and get me ready to start my career once I finish school here at UHV. So they've been wonderful. They've been wonderful, and I've really appreciated everything they've done for me.
For me, my clinical experiences have been really good. Because this is a one-year accelerated program, the clinical experiences were really the place where I actually got to put what I learned in lecture into practice. And so I found it very helpful when preceptors took that into mind and remembered how things were when they were a student, and remembered that students might need a little bit more guidance when they're doing things. Maybe the smaller steps in a procedure that an advanced nurse sort of whizzes by needs to be explained to a student. For me, the preceptors that I worked with were always very encouraging, and that always helped because as a student, sometimes you second guess yourself, and so that sort of guidance and leadership by a preceptor really makes a difference. It helps a student feel more comfortable and prepares them to start their career as a nurse.
what made me feel really warm with the excellent preceptorship was how friendly they were, how engaged in my life and my studies they were. I didn't feel like I was a chore or a burden to them. They basically carried me around to everything they did and didn't just hold me to my one specific patient. Of course, we did study that and we went into detail with that one patient, but he and she, the preceptors that I'm specifically thinking of right now, really threw me in there on all their work and the different aspects and issues affecting nursing today. And so I really appreciate that a lot. And they'll be always remembered, never forgotten.